Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday. Good morning, everyone, and good morning to Dr. John Gray. Thank you all for joining for the Wednesday weekly Radiant Mind meditation. We are really excited and blessed that John can join us to lead us in these weekly meditations where he brings all of us together, connected in the quantum field, so that we can resonate at a higher and higher vibration together and also uplift the planet together. I know there's a lot of things going on outside in the world, and this is just a beautiful practice that John brings us into every week where we can come together to uplift ourselves as well as the entire planet. So, John, thank you so much for doing this with us every week. As all of you know, John is the author of the Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus series of books and the #1 trusted relationship author in the world, but he is also a meditation master, having meditated for over 50 years. We can go with him into these higher levels of consciousness quite easily. And so thank you all for joining us from all over the world. I see Muhammad Afzal is joining us from Pakistan. So wonderful. Thank you, Muhammad, for joining us every week for these meditations. Great to be here with you. And John, so great to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Tangela, thank you so much. Tangela's en route, and she'll be joining us throughout the meditation, but I'll finish it off today. Just to make a few announcements as people are coming in for this, to be aware. Today's meditation will be a healing meditation for others. As we also heal for others, we get the benefit of the energy flowing through us and then going into the higher state of consciousness, connecting with that force that comes through us as love. I thought since America is going through such a crisis of 2 hurricane disasters on the East Coast, that we could send love and light to those people, giving them, sending positive energy. And maybe it's some people, of course, it works. It's called prayer for other people. It's also called just sending energy, sending blessings, letting God's blessings be amplified through our attention. And sometimes the question comes up for people, well, if God, or the universe, as some people want to call God, is always serving and supporting us, then what's the point? God already knows there's a crisis over there. Isn't God helping those people? Well, God helps us through us. The whole idea is that we're not just mindless. It's not that everything is like we're animals and instinct is covering everything, but we're co-creating with God. And as parts of God, as parts of this universe, we direct our attention to others to receive love and support, then what happens is more energy goes there. So we are one with those people. And as we're opening up our hearts to receive that energy and bless them, they're receiving it to various degrees of whichever they can receive. But there's a point of we're all here. People often wonder, why are we here in this world? We're here to help each other and receive each other's help by channeling the divine conscious light of God. As Tangela says, the quantum state. This is a more scientific way of looking at the quantum field, which exists everywhere, which is conscious through us. and conscious through nature in various different ways. So that's the point of this. So we're going to open our hearts to receive God's blessings by the simple mantra, the thing we repeat a few times, doesn't take much, is we put our hands into the air, reaching to the heavens. It's all very symbolic, but it's also very biological, in that when you reach your hands up to the air, what happens is that your fingertips, the blood will start to drop from the fingertips. And whenever blood starts to leave the body or leave an area of the body, healing energy goes. So the healing energy is the healing angels, life force uh, energy. So when that happens, it's easy when there's a flood of energy going that place. Our attention can go there and we can begin to resonate with that divine energy. We can become aware of that energy. And for many of you, as you do this process, some just feel kind of a numbness in the fingertips. Well, that means our attention goes to our fingertips. The numbness is the awakening of awareness, because let's say the part of your body you're not aware of, you put your attention there, you'll feel nothing. But if energy starts to go there, energy follows awareness. If energy goes there, then you'll become aware that you're not feeling the energy, and that's the numbness. So that's what numbness is. It's kind of an awareness that I'm not receiving energy. So then it starts to be like electricity, tingling, and then we bring the hands together. Sometimes as you bring your hands together, you just begin to feel the energy field. It's a little bit like taffy, pulling it, slowly bringing it together. And it's all just slowing down your consciousness with a bit of repetition. What repetition does is allows you to, in a sense, sit back and allow it to automatically happen rather than making a decision every time. Even though you have an intention, but you're not necessarily thinking, what am I going to do next? It's just naturally a flow. But then what we add to in the radiant mind meditation is various intentions. So we go into the flow state, and then with intention, we direct that flow state. So the process is why we do this together, why I like doing this together as well. But one of the benefits of meditating in a group is there's an alignment. Again, it's more people aligning together allows the energy to flow through more. The good news regarding all of the corruption throughout our history, the world has been a balance of evil and good. And as the good, which is the consciousness, the co-creation with the divine, as that increases, so does the negativity, because now we become more conscious, we become more aware of the negativity, the corruption which is there. So there's a wake up happening in the world. For some people, it looks like things are getting worse and worse. Actually, things on one level are getting worse and worse, no question. But things are so much better than before because people are waking up. They're not going to just be like sheep and just follow whatever the government says. But we question the government. And that was, the teenagers who started America. They were just in their late teens and 20s who wrote the Constitution. They came from a whole culture where they gave their power away to authority, and they felt like it was all okay. When really the Europeans who settled here, they were all serfs. They couldn't even own their own property. They had no free speech. They could be taken away by the government if they just complained. And so we have this wonderful government where we can complain, and we have free speech, and we can even lie. That's part of our, as long as the lie is not with the intent to hurt people. When they say that you can't speak out, fire in a theater. I just heard something funny. Well, there was a concert where everybody was singing, "Come on, baby, light my fire, light my fire." But the point of it, the law is that you can say fire in a theater. If I think there's a fire in the theater, of course I'm going to say, "Hey, there's a fire, get out of here." Doesn't make complete sense. If I say there's a fire as a joke, then I've broken the law, or I want to upset people. I want to destroy things, which was done to me, by the way, many, many times when Men from Mars was the #1 best-selling book in the world at that time. So many people were buying it. And I'd give talks all around the world, and people would pull the fire alarm just to disrupt. I was speaking in the Parliament building in London, and someone pulled the fire alarm just to disrupt my talk. So that is against the law, and we shouldn't do to hurt people or disrupt things. But the truth that we see, we should be able to share. And I don't agree with everybody, but I firmly believe that I support that we have a system that allows them to speak their mind. So, and keep in mind, it is legal. This is the weirdest thing that for me to adjust to, which is even in commercials. Well, it's not legal to lie about when you're selling a product, but in politics, it's perfectly fine legally to lie. Otherwise, somebody could be taken off the air because somebody accuses them of lying, and then they couldn't promote themselves. To prove a lie, you have to could go through the court system or whatever. But the key here is that we have permission. We have the right. You have the right to express your truth. And part of what we're doing here in these meditations, as we send the blessing, is we're going to express the truth of our love and our light. We connect to that. And what inhibits our ability to feel and express love and light, to be at ease and peace and happy, is to the extent that we believe lies. And of course, we're listening to TV all the time. If we're listening to deception, to the extent we are believing lies, we disconnect with the truth. That's what a lie is. If you believe a lie, you're not connecting with the truth. So sometimes I share a little bit about the global condition, but more importantly, we focus on our negative emotions in these meditations. Because anytime you have a negative emotion and you're upset, it's 100% true that that's what you feel. But what you feel is based on a belief which is inaccurate. That's why our soul or God gives us the feedback to tell us that your thinking is off. In a sense, we're blind. We don't know where to go. But someone's saying warmer, warmer, and then you find warmer, or somebody's saying colder, colder, to go away from that. We're getting feedback all the time from our soul. And that feedback is we feel suffering and pain when our thinking is wrong. We have negative emotions. And so we have to bring the light to feel our negative emotions, but not to act on our negative emotions, not to let fear control you, not to let anger to intimidate others, not to use sadness and hurt to manipulate others into feeling bad, or even to use feeling guilt in order to have others trust us. Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so bad. Yet we should be authentic to what we feel, and then from the point of view, let it go. And one of the ways to let it go is in these radiant mind meditations. And today we're going to not so much let our own negativity go, we're going to help others let go of their negativity. So the thing is, we activate the energy field, so the energy is flowing through our body. And once you can receive energy flowing through your body, then the energy channels are open. You can now, what we've done in other meditations is look at our negative emotions and send the energy of those negative emotions out into the ocean, into the fire, into the crystals, into the various natural elements who thrive on that energy. They'll immediately recycle it. I send it out into the forest around me now. So let that energy go out. Any negative tension, unused energy, stale energy. When the energy is flowing through us and we're not acting on that energy, using that energy to bring into the world, then it becomes blocked. So let's say you're angry. You want to be loving, and now you're angry. You're blocking that energy. And so that blocked energy, it's divine energy, but it's experienced as anger. And in our primitive mind, when we're angry, we use that anger to control people. For example, as I mentioned, the different emotions are all manipulative. But it's not that we should deny ourselves connection with that emotion. So many people who do meditation, they sort of float above the world, and then they wonder why they're not manifesting their desires in the world. They have the power to follow through, to make things happen, to attract success into your life, to have good luck. That's all bringing the divine through us, as opposed to just going up. So we start up in this meditation. People who are drawn to me already can just go up. And you bring your fingertips up. You begin to have the intention, dear God, then our arms wide, our hearts are open to you. Come and fill us with your love and light. And we'll do that a few times. And then we say, use me to bless the people who are suffering. And I'll talk a little bit about that. So you're offering offering yourself, use me as a channel now to heal those people, to help those people. Right now, using me, activate the healing channels to heal those people. And so you activate those channels and you say, thank you. And then we're going to do is using me, take away the negative energy of the whole group of people that are suffering now, that we're seeing on the news. And of course, you're not seeing it fully on the news. You need to be watching X. On X, people have the freedom to express themselves without editing. Whether you agree with it or not, it's the most important place on this planet right now, that where people can actually, as a community, speak their truth, because you don't want people not able to speak their truth. Same thing in relationships. We need to make it safe for us to speak our truth, but we have to do it wisely. We can't, if our negative emotions are there, we have to be careful to hold them in check, to not express them in order to manipulate our partners, but to be able to share it, to help us become aware of it. And, I have whole classes on that. For men, particularly, do it privately. For women, do it with someone. Because when you share your feelings with someone, your estrogen goes up. And we know that women, whenever they're stressed, their estrogen's too low. And for men, when they're stressed, their testosterone's too low. So for a man to hold those emotions inside, contain them, don't act on them, but feel them, analyze them. Why do I feel this way? Just by analyzing, you'll be making more testosterone. And now there's no need to be upset. The whole thing is just we become upset because our soul is telling us your thinking is out of balance. In a practical sense, I'm now teaching in my later books, Beyond Mars and Venus, I'm teaching that basically we can look at a very biological level, because we're trying to incarnate spirit, bring God through this body into the world, which we'll be doing in this meditation. And we'll do that for a little while. And then we'll circulate the energy again and accumulate energy and happiness and joy for the whole day, for the week, as you continue listening to these meditations. We have over 20 now that you can go and access on YouTube. I went and saw that the other day. And so you can do it on other days. And the reason I do variation is because we're kind of dopamine nation. We're a little bit addicted to new and different. And so these exercises are pretty much the same, with a little new and different each time. It keeps us a little extra motivated to do it. And so we'll get started now, and I'll describe things as we're doing it. But once again, we do it in a group because there's more power in a group. It's like we're going into synchrony with each other. Even if you're relaxed or you're doing dishes while you're listening to me, going through this meditation, or going for a walk or a run, just that we're all connecting together with the same frequency is very, very powerful for us and what we intend. And the second thing is, when you're learning something new, like when I was learning tennis, when I played tennis with a tennis pro, my game would immediately improve. And when your game improves, then it's easy for you to grow the neural connectors in your brain to do this process, to stay connected to your source, connected to the divine, connected to the truth. So we'll get going now. I talk a little bit, maybe a little bit too long today while people are coming in wanting to meditate. But you can always just meditate on me when I'm talking, because I'm just in meditation when I do this. The energy is just flowing through. There's no script. There's nothing. It's just a flow of what is the truth that seems appropriate to this moment and what we're about to do. So as we've gotten started, we'll start with our hands up in the air. With your hands in the air, feel your fingertips, palms, and we say, Dear God, open our arms wide. Our hearts are open to you. Bring your hands open and forward. Come. Bring your hands slowly together. Fill us with your love and light. And we'll repeat that 3 times. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Fill us with your love and light. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Come. Fill us with your love and light. Dear God, our hearts are open to you. Please come. Fill us with your love and light. Hands forward. Use us this day to bless the people in the world who are suffering. Use us this day to bless the people that are suffering. And today, as a group, we can help bless the people in Tampa, Florida, the people in North Carolina, particularly the people at King Mountain, whose cities have just been wiped off the map. Villages, towns, floods 30 feet high. The whole city is destroyed. Use us, use these hands, use me, use this group, use our collective consciousness to send blessings to those people who are suffering, to those people who are afraid, to those people who feel so much despair, to those people who feel so much sadness, to those people who even lost others. The comfort that at this time to know that not alone, that they're not alone. Help is coming, and help is coming. While our government barricades, tells people with helicopters who fly in to help, it tells them you'll get put in jail if you land here. And they barricade people and they inhibit people from bringing in food. As the government is so crazy, there's so many people that are fighting back. They're bringing in food, bringing in water, noble people. We give thanks to those people. And through us, we send energy to bless those people as well, giving them the courage to help and giving courage to the others to keep moving forward, to help rebuild their lives, to give them strength. And of course, the government does have the ability to control weather. High technology over the last 50 years has proven it. And you can redirect the flow of your hurricanes. And this hurricane did go to King Mountain, which is where the government's been trying to, in corporations, to open a lithium mine, because we want lithium in America. And the people refused that. So now they've obliterated the whole place, and now the government can change the zoning and start the lithium mines. This is part of the corruption in the world. In Tampa, which will be destroyed by this amplified hurricane, which we have the ability to do with lasers. Heating up the water will guide the hurricane where we want it to go. As Tampa is destroyed, they'll start a smart city there, just like they did in Maui. They change the zoning, get rid of the people who don't want the smart city. So that's the darkness on the planet, but we so much outnumber them. So right now, we send love and support to give those people strength to oppose, to restore their homesteads, to create the lives that they choose, not that the government chooses for them. We all have our rights from God, not the government. So we send this wisdom, we send this strength, we send this love to fill their darkness with light, fill the despair, let the forces of good overcome the forces of evil. As right now we're facing a huge spiritual war. It's come into our consciousness. It's always been there, but now it's escalated. So using right now, through us, through this collective consciousness, right now. So with right now, we bring our hands down. Right now, by your healing angels, through us, send your love and light. Then thank you. Right now, God, through us, through our fingertips, through our hands, through our palms, let your energy flow through us to bless the people in South Carolina, North Carolina, Kings Mountain, and Tampa, as everybody's evacuating. The fear of loss, the fear of losing everything that they have will be destroyed. To help them recover, to rebuild. And let this be a wake-up call for so many people to recognize and know the evil that exists in this world. And through us, let us send that light and that love, letting the energy flow through us. People have lost their children. People have lost their spouses. People have lost their pets. as a 30-foot flood goes through that valley, wiping everything out. Let the energy flow through you, through your fingertips. So energy's flowing to the area. And now what we do is we bring our hands forward. Think about the fingertips in your palms. And imagine right now, there's a big flood there. The river's high. We're imagining drawing out the negative energy, the fear energy, and letting it go into that river. Let it go into the mountain. As we ask God, through God's angels, using us, take away the blocked energy of their fear. Take away the blocked energy of their suffering. Take away the blocked energy of their sadness. Just imagine how sad it would be to lose your family, to lose your home, to lose your pets, to feel out of control. Right now, using us, using our awareness to direct your divine angels to take away the blocked energy of their fear. Take away the blocked energy of the people who had to escape from Tampa, gathering their possessions, wondering if their home will exist when they return, feeling afraid, feeling scared. What are they going to do? How will they start again? Afraid that they won't be able to create a beautiful life, afraid of not having enough money, afraid of not having their jobs, afraid of failure, afraid of loss. Right now, take away the feelings of fear. Feel the powerlessness of the people. Take away the fear that comes from powerlessness. Take away the fear. Take away the sadness. Take away the anxiety, the unknowing what's going to happen. What should we do? Take away the despair of feeling forgotten. And for those that recognize how man-made this is, how the hurricanes, since the 50s, they've known how to redirect hurricanes, and they've just gotten better at it. There's patents on this. One technique is simply planes fly over and drop tons of dry ice into the center of a hurricane, and it will go inland. But there's way more sophisticated techniques today using the lasers. There's even commercials talking about the power of their lasers. So many people understand the fires in Santa Rosa, the fires in Maui, the fires in Canada. These are all started by lasers. Trees burned from the inside out. Government cover-ups. So for those people that know, give them right now, take away the pain of knowing that this has been done to them to control them. Let them feel anger. Take away the blocked feelings of anger. Take away the blocked feelings of anger, the injustice, the cruelty. Take away their feelings of anger. Just go online and hear all those people, so much anger. And anger is not good for them. Feel the anger and let it go. Don't act on it. Use that anger for construction, the energy, the blocked energy of putting it all together again, fixing it, solving the problem. Don't waste that energy by feeling anger. So take away their anger right now. Take away their anger, their sadness, their disappointment, their fear of not being able to be free, to have the life that they've created, to have it taken away. And then take away the feelings of regret, to lose your home, to lose people in your life. Take away the feelings of regret. So as you're doing this, just imagine the energy going and touching the souls of these people and drawing out their negative energy and putting it in that river, letting it wash away. Let it go into the mountain, the trees. Mother Nature will take that away. Mother Nature will clean that up, drawing out their negative energy. And so we do that for a little while and feel some compassion in our hearts. Now we shift the flow of the energy. So this is where the blessings go in as they send the energy out, using the nature, using the water, using the trees. Imagine them surrounded by nature. It's a big mess. Trees are down everywhere. Water is flooding everywhere. So using these natural frequencies, send your positive energy through us, through that water frequency, the forest frequency, and bless these people now. Hear their prayers, and bless them. Send energy to them now. Give them inspiration. Give them motivation. Give them a sense of peace that they can handle this. They're not alone. That everyone is coming together. That they can depend on others. That they're not alone. And that they will be able to put their lives back together. Send them the blessings of positive thoughts, of solution thoughts, of having faith thoughts, of gratitude thoughts. Help them to feel gratitude for the help they're getting from others at this time. Fill them with love, fill them with peace, fill them with confidence, fill them with energy. Using the water and the trees, send the energy to those people. And through our bodies, through our fingertips, send the energy to them as well. Right now, filling them with love and light, filling them with the blessings of love. Feel the energy flowing through your fingertips, through your palms, through your fingertips. Using the water, the floods that are happening there, the trees that are down, the earth, the mountains, and all the people in their cars escaping from Tampa as the winds tear it apart. Let them know, give them assurance, life will go on, life will go on. Eventually everything will be okay again. Everything will be okay again. We are in God's hands. This is the great battle between darkness and light. The planet is being manipulated through HARP, which has weather modification. It's been known since the 50s that there are forces that can control the weather, cause volcanoes, and cause earthquakes, and cause tidal waves. I know some of you think, who would do such a thing? Who would start a war like in Iraq and wipe out 500,000 people? Who would do that? There's evil in this world, and we are the forces of light. We shine our light on the evil and it begins to disappear. Just like in a dark room. You bring in light and the darkness goes away. It has no power. As we take away the negative energies, the light comes in. And using Mother Nature. And for those that are Christian, in Jesus' name, we bless these people. Send your angels to bless everyone there, whether they believe or not. Fill them with your love and light. In the name of Jesus, using the river, using the trees, using nature to comfort them, to bless them by your healing angels. And for those that have other deities, using those deities, however you hold your spiritual consciousness. So many of the people listening here are Christians. In the name of Jesus, God, through our fingertips, bless these people using the earth, the water, the air, help them, and using each other as you're using us to direct your energy. Imagine people feeling stronger, more confident, more generous, more cooperative, and defiant that the government can't take this away from them, that they will go back to their homes and rebuild. You can do that. Things will be okay. You can rebuild your lives. Give them peace. Give them strength. Help them feel more love for each other. Help them feel defiant. This isn't going to stop me. Give them that power. Don't succumb to giving up. Give them wisdom. Help them make the right decisions. Help them work together. Help them feel peace. Let the energy, you feel it flowing through your fingertips to the waters, using the air, using the earth to give comfort to people. So as we're sending energy to them, we're drawing energy out of them. And now as we're continuing to draw out their negative energy, simultaneously, we're sending them positive energy. Drawing it out of them into the waters and then coming back to them. Drawing the negative energy out and returning positive energy to them, filling them with love and light. Drawing out negative energy, sending positive energy in, filling them with love and light. With this intention, right now, shift and just feel the divine energy coming down over you as grace flowing through you to those people, coming through you, blessing them with your love, and your hope and your trust and your faith, they will rebuild, and more people will wake up to the darkness that exists in this world and stand in the light. As right now, you stand in the light, letting light flow through you. Channeling energy from above to your heart and through your fingertips going back out. Imagine your heart filling up with compassion for these people. And a ball of light in your chest, and let that light go to your shoulders, out down your biceps, to your hands. Let's send it out. And where there's darkness, let you send light. Where there's pain, send comfort. Where there's confusion, send wisdom, clarity. Where there's fear, send faith. Where there's suffering, send comfort, send help. Feel the tingling of the love in your heart flow through your arms and out. The people at King Mountain in North Carolina, people in Florida, and to all the animals enduring this terrible, terrible hurricane. See, normally hurricanes, they become weaker when they hit landfall. But if you keep heating up the ground, the hurricane will just follow the lasers. Bless these people. Help them to rebuild. And let God's light shine in this area right now through our hearts for healing. And now in our hearts, as we're sending the energy through us, imagine that energy like circling around through us, through those people, into nature, and circling back to those people. We hold them in harmony with nature. We hold them in harmony with each other. We hold them in harmony with their souls to gain guidance. And we ask them to feel grateful that those who are still alive feel grateful for the opportunity to continue living, to moving forward, to restarting over. Grateful for that opportunity. Grateful for the help they're receiving. And we give thanks now to God. For those who believe in Jesus, in the name of Jesus, we give thanks for the opportunity to help others, to bring your light into this world, and feel our gratitude to be alive at this time. So reflect in your life what you're grateful for. Feel the gratitude that you're not going through a hurricane, that your life has not been destroyed. Feel gratitude in your heart for the opportunity to be alive at this time during this great war of darkness and light. Which side do you stand on? Do you stand on the side of freedom, love, the ability to speak freely, the ability to oppose negativity, to oppose a corrupt government? Feel that revolutionary part of you that says, I stand for truth and justice. Feel your courage to stand up and face the challenges that we're looking at in the world today. Feel gratitude for the support you have in your life. And feel peace. So as we in this state of letting go, of channeling this energy through us to this very wounded place on the planet right now, we've taken our time to do that. Let's come back to ourselves. Feel the tingling in our hands, the healing energy that was flowing through us. And God help to heal our bodies. Let that energy flow through to our elbows, to our shoulders, to our hearts. Filling our chests with light, filling our bellies with light. Letting the energy go all the way to our pelvis, down our hips, our legs, to our knees, to our ankles, our feet. Feeling grateful for our body, for our health, for the healing energy flowing into our bodies now. Let it flow up to the knees, in the front of your legs, over the thighs, to your hips, to the base of the spine. And from the spine, let it begin moving up 2 inches, 3 inches, 6 inches, 6 more inches, just moving up the spine behind your belly button, your solar plexus, in the center of your chest. And to the back of the neck. All the way up the spine to the back of the head. From the back of the head to the forehead. Filling your brain with light. And from your right ear to your left ear. From the back of your brain to the forehead, filling your head with light. From the right ear to the left ear, filling your head with light. Crossing in the middle of your brain, the pineal gland, filled with light and love, healing energy. And from there, going straight up to the top of the head. And right above the head, the crown chakra opens. Imagine energy flowing in a circle like a halo. And then go a little bit higher and imagine a circle spinning one direction. And then imagine a circle, that same circle spinning the other direction. And now spin that circle one direction and the other direction simultaneously. And imagine it be creating a vortex of energy, drawing in more light energy above your head. A big ball of light just becoming brighter and brighter above your head. And as the energy flows into that circle, imagine it now flowing out. And let that energy now come down, come back down into your brain, filling your brain with light and blessings. Let your tongue relax on the roof of your mouth, connecting the energy from above down into the throat, down to the heart, down to the belly, down to the base of the spine. And just as we come down to the base of the spine, we go back up the spine, come down to the base of the spine. This time, as you're pulling energy down, you're also sending it up simultaneously. Feeling peace, feeling at ease, feeling grateful. Trusting that right now in your life, you're in the process of making your personal dreams come true, and in some meaningful way, helping the world become a better place. So, in this state of flow, we give thanks in the name of Jesus, in the name of all the great beings that bring light into the world. We give thanks. Amen. So last time we did a little exercise. When you're ready to open your eyes, you can see just kind of like wiping on your face. This is, some people call this heavening. I learned it at one of the Soul Search conferences. You kind of rub your face around and around your nose. And then you sort of give yourself a hug. It's nice, very nice. And then hands, rubbing on hands. You can peek and you can see what I'm doing. It's very nice. Take a few breaths, relax. Feel yourself surrounded by a cocoon of light and love. That you're in the right place at the right time. On a count to 3, you can open your eyes and feel refreshed. 1, 2, 3. Eyes open. Refreshed for the day. Thank you all for joining me in this healing meditation, helping to send good feelings to the other part of the country. Dragonfly says, thanks for this powerful meditation, for sharing your love and light and wisdom. Well, thank you all for joining. Power of love must prevail. Jerry Skeptic. Love your comments. It's always good to kind of have some comments because it acknowledges we're all here. I know some of you are still relaxed. Some of you are falling asleep. Some of you are feeling at ease and peaceful. We so much appreciate you joining together as we create this group consciousness in a very conscious, direct way where we're sending intention, whatever our intentions might be, but also feeling the energy at the same time. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that's the point of prayer. Some people think, well, if God's in control of everything, Well, they're the laws of nature, but we direct those laws of nature accordingly. And free will is God's will. Centralized government, world government, United Nations, people controlling everybody. This is the opposite of free will. When they take away your freedoms, you're disconnecting from God. It's through us, through our ability to choose our actions, we then can make mistakes. And then with mistakes, we suffer. And with the suffering, we now bring the light to take away the suffering and repent. We self-correct and we promise to do better. And then we can self-correct again and we repent and we self-correct. Oh, someone's been doing their meditation in dream state. That's very good. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience. Thank you, John, says Jennifer. Wayne, nice to hear from you. We had a successful weekend training this last week. Just to let everybody know, I'll make a few announcements, but our meditation is over. But we have the Radiant Mind meditation every Wednesday. You can share that with your friends. You can also go on YouTube. You can see all the ones that I've done. I think this is number 21. And we'll just keep doing them. It's fun for me. It's fun for you. And there is a part of me that wants to just sleep in the morning, just meditate in my room. And I just say, John, you have to exert yourself. There's a thing about one step forward, God comes 10 steps to you. Making that little extra effort to do better, to do more, to help. It always rewards us. That's how we're rewarded in this world. To do our best, make mistakes, forgive ourselves, forgive others, repent, and promise to do better, and take action to do better. This is our commitment. This is how we grow. It's free will. Free will allows us to make mistakes and consciously change. When you don't have free will and you're following all these huge government rules, oh my gosh, every year, the legislature, they just print up a whole new set of laws. They always making more and more rules. That's going into like a AI machine, which is completely based upon if-then statements, rules, where machines govern us, where rules govern us, where laws are all like govern us. To understand a little bit of our history, if you go back and at least part of the world's history, from my Western perspective, you had the Old Testament. Thank you for that phrase, Kelly. They have no idea the love and power they're unleashing with these hateful attacks. And I want everybody to hear that concept. They have no idea, they meaning evil forces, the love and power they unleash in all of us with these hateful attacks. Because as we put our lives together, we realize we are co-creating with God, and we're not dependent on the government, on those forces, on those elites, on the powerful forces of the world. We start finding that power within ourselves. We wake up, we realize the injustices, the cruelty, what's been going on in this world. It's always been there. We're just waking up and seeing it. And as we see it, it struggles for its life. It's trying to maintain its control, and they're losing control as we start taking control of our lives. And always to take control of our lives is to find forgiveness for who we are and forgiveness for others who do good, who repent. Forgiveness is not there until forgiveness cannot even be received by somebody. We can forgive for our own self, which is just to detach from wanting to suffer and punish. But you cannot receive, your forgiveness cannot really land unless somebody is asking forgiveness, wanting to repent. Then energy comes to them, and our energy comes to them. And like these natural disasters, people are so much in touch with their natural feelings. They just need our caring. They need our attention. They need our love. So this could be a meditation. For me, I watch the news. I go onto X, where people are free to say, this is terrible. This is awful. what's happening. Look at what's happening. Because they don't want to tell you that stuff on the news. They don't want to seem like things are so bad. They hide it, but you can hear people's voices and their outrage at what the government's doing now, the cover up that's happening once again. Just like there's that big cover up in Maui fires, same thing has happened here. We have so much technology, people just don't realize it. Always, if you're still listening, I'll keep sharing a little bit more. My favorite thing I always watch every week is 20-minute show on YouTube. It's called My Lunch Break. My Lunch Break. They have like 90 episodes now. When I do your meditation, then do sadhana after your meditation, I feel the chi, the chi of energy better. Yeah, this is it. And there are things you can do that I don't do before this meditation, which is sometimes we do some breathing exercises. Another thing is just standing up and just doing the bounce and shake exercise for people who can't feel the energy. You just simply do this exercise where I'm going to stand here and come back here. And without jumping up into the air, you just go like this. And you do this for a few minutes. Take some relaxing breaths. Go bounce and shake. And you do that for a minute and then stop, and you'll feel the energy in your fingertips, because that's another way of just activating your limb system. Then just creates more awareness. It causes blood flow to more, increased blood flow, increased lymph flow in the body. And it's a powerful exercise. You get that same similar benefit by going on walks, but you get way more benefit if you're not going to do a long walk, and you can't go on a long walk. Then it's just the up and down. Moving up and down in the Earth's resonant frequency causes electricity to flow through your body. You know, all this science is all such a mystery. Many things we just say this is what's true, but we don't really understand it, according to at least the people who are supposed to understand it. But if you just simply have a magnet, and then you rotate around it, electromagnetic field from a magnet, and you move around it like this and put a wire, then electricity will flow through it. It's been a while since I studied that. I think that was it. It's just spin a wheel around a magnet and put a wire, and electricity flows. And same thing for our body. We're in this electromagnetic field of the planet. And if you move up and down, which is like going around, it's just up and down, then electricity flows in your body. And when the astronauts went out in space, or the first Russian cosmonaut who went out there, when he came back, he had what's called space sickness, and his whole body degenerated. He died. Got really, really sick and then died. He was a really fit guy, but what they found to be the case is that they had to vibrate the frequency, because the Earth's natural frequency had to replicate it, and then they had to pulse it, pulsed electromagnetic frequencies. There's some people that have these mats, and they put out the pulsed electromagnetic frequencies. You can just lie down and do that, or you can just jump up and down. You could jump, but you can also do it without jumping. No muscular activity at all, just up and down. Very easy. And that has two functions. One is it causes lymphatic detoxification in your body. Walking will do the same thing. And it also allows your body to go up and down in the Earth's electromagnetic field. And this is all part of charging up our bodies. Whereas when they're in space, they don't have the electromagnetic field so strong. So they have to duplicate it by producing a pulsed electromagnetic field, which then continues to give us life force energy in our bodies on a more gross level. There's the chi level, that's the etheric level. Yes, my rebounder is a spiritual tool. Yes, it's very, very powerful. Okay, folks, it's been such a pleasure to spend this time with you. About to finish up, but I'll read any comments people had. What would it take for our collective prayers and intention to mitigate or even reverse hurricanes or other natural disasters? I don't know. I've been meditating every day on trying to, what I do is I just imagine the hurricane not with the first one because I didn't know what was happening, but with Tampa becoming, the winds settling down, the whole thing changing. But there are physical realities. What we can do is help. Without a doubt, we help. So I don't really have the answer for that because there's physical laws of nature, and if you have a hurricane and you go over land due to the temperature change, the hurricane will become diminished. However, if you have these lasers on the ground, and there are videos showing the lasers that were before the King Mountain one, there was all this laser activity going on. Uh, I don't understand it all. I just know that I've also seen, uh, one of the best places to hear some of this information on YouTube. It's a weird name. It's a guy, he exposed the whole Maui thing, and you go under, it's Hustle Bitch, HUSTLEBITCH, Hustle Bitch. I don't know why he has that name, but he's a very handsome guy. He's always nicely dressed, and he reveals everything about, he's from Hawaii, so he was revealing everything about the cover up, what really happened in Maui. So what really happened in Maui is it was an electrical storm. When the winds blow, the electrical lines go down and fires start. Well, there have been fires all that day, little fires all that day, and people were starting fires. And so they thought it was all settled down, but they turned off the electricity. So it wasn't the electricity starting all the fires, but the winds were blowing really bad. And Maui has more alarm systems than anywhere else in the world, and the guy turned them off. Okay. He said, "Oh, we turned off the alarms because people would think you should go up the mountain and away from the tidal wave that might be coming in." Well, those alarms are also for hurricanes and all kinds of things. People are not going to run into a fire if they hear those alarms going off. So the alarms weren't there. The children were taken out of school. And then later on, there's videos of school buses at airports and how many children are missing. That's a cover up. We also know that all these cars were literally, you can see they were all in a big, huge traffic jam. They couldn't get out of that area, and they all burned alive. And the police were holding them back. They were just told the police to do it, probably telling them, "Oh, don't leave because they could run over electric wires," although electricity was off. The firemen were there, but they cut off the water. They said that you have to share the water, so you can't have all the water that day. This is like insane. The police chief who managed the whole cover up had just been there for a few months, and he was the police chief that handled all of the shootings that happened in Vegas. He's a really corrupt guy. And once again, you can research the Vegas one, because it wasn't just all those people in the field at the concert getting shot. People were being shot all over the city at that time, and it was all covered up, and everything gets covered up. John, won't the government and state structures exist to prevent and amend the misuse of free will? That's what they're trying to do. Anything that blocks free will is anti-God. It's the devil, basically. It's the evil. So sure, there are challenges such as here in Pakistan, states suppressing democratic evolution just being one of the challenges that we face. But I'm more inclined to need the governing structures to preserve the sanctity of. Yes, the government is not ever all bad. Okay, government is a lot of really good people there. And then there's the psychopaths. And the thing about psychopaths is that they have more power because, see, for me, I have to be very careful what I say. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm compassionate. I'm empathetic. I hold back all the time from just doing what I want because I want to think about what other people want. But some people don't care what other people want. They just do what they want. And that's a lot of power. And they gravitate towards controlling structures of government because they want to control other people. They delight in it. They get off on it. See, most of us have no idea that psychopaths are people that have an inhibited estrogen function. And so the only way they can, and estrogen is the balance of the male and female. Within every man and woman, there's a male side and a female side. And the estrogen side is our female side. But some people, that's the love. for whatever reasons, they can't feel that love. So they just have really high testosterone. And in this case, high testosterone is dysfunctional because it's not balanced with estrogen. And what makes them feel good, because they can't feel anything, they actually have no feeling, they're like robots. And so in order to feel things, they have to inflict harm on others. So if they can inflict harm on others and dominate others, then they get an experience of estrogen. Everything is reversed in them. When we are loving towards others, we have a surge of estrogen, when we feel love. They are anti that. And these people really exist, and they're all actors. And not that they're the actors in Hollywood, but the best actors in Hollywood actually have no sense of self. They have all kinds of emotional problems, which is why many of them are going to rehab all the time, and they see, they just have extreme emotional problems if you see their personal lives, because they have no grounding in who they are, so they can easily be a chameleon and just take another point of view. Whatever's required to achieve their goal, they become. Whereas what we have is a grounding in who we are and what we feel is right, and following that to the best of our ability. When you repent and come back to what it is you want and act on that, then you align yourself with free will, with that which is good. And that's the gift. Is if we didn't have free will, we couldn't consciously align with the light. We would just be mindlessly following what the rules are. Uh, I have more trepidations of the people that go along to get along than I am of the actual psychopaths. Well, I see your point. I see your point, because that's what they did during the pandemic. They got everybody so much in fear, which is they were saying, the evil of the pandemic, not that they spread this thing and they gave us lies and deceptions and gave us the shots to kill people. But the evil of that is that they got the division. They got people who got vaccinated. They have to be righteous to say there was a pandemic of the non-vaccinated, which is the stupidest thing ever. They're now the purebloods. And fortunately, people, if you didn't the boosters, and you use the nicotine, can help detoxify and remove the spike protein from you. If you have long COVID, just doing 6 milligrams of nicotine patches, I think it's 7 milligram nicotine patches, to start putting those on. And so many people have had their long COVID symptoms gone because the nicotine goes in there and binds with the receptor sites and kicks the spike protein out. The few can control the many when the many control each other. Yeah, they want to create division. See, the whole thing is you create division. This is every totalitarian government, tyrannical government in the past. They create division. They get people hating each other instead of hating the government, or saying we want to change the government. They get you having these fights back and forth with each other. That's the whole racial thing now. And Mao's and China, it was Mao started the revolution there by saying, the rich people, the smart people, they have more than you. We should all have the same. That's called equity. We all should have the same. And so they infuriated the younger generation, who didn't have the wealth that the older generation had, as well as the intelligence. And they killed all the professors, all the artists, all the brilliant people in society. So could we all be dumbed down, but we'd all be the same. And they killed 70 million people in that process. And that was just last century. That was in 70s, 60s, and 70s. That was going on. This is crazy. We just heard, about Tiananmen Square. A lot of you weren't around in Tiananmen Square in China. I don't have anything planned for Rome. Sorry, but I am going to Ireland next week. I'm going to Ireland, teach a class there, and that would be wonderful. The information's at my website, marsvenus.com. That, I know that's a little frustrating for people, that I was just in a flow and I get interrupted with your comments. So then I forget my flow where I was going. But but I was having fun. This is my free time. Not that many people listen to this. It won't be canceled. If it was a big show, that show would be canceled, saying these kind of things, which is too bad. Most people don't know that I was canceled in the year 2000. It wasn't well known. It's not like I can't be on YouTube. It's I wasn't allowed to be on national TV. I was on all the shows, and then suddenly one day not allowed to be on any shows. Oh, we've done that. We've already done that. Oh, we've done that. They were just told. One of the most famous person left NBC just because she wanted to do a 6-part series on differences between men and women, and they wouldn't let her do it. So she went off and even quit. Uh, I'm not going to say her name, but the the forces that be saw that this is not the narrative. The narrative is that men and women are the same. The same thing happened. Here, we're back on track with China, with Mao. Tiananmen Square, when the kids started saying we're going to fight back after the totalitarian was set in, they just mowed them down. They killed 2,000 people right there with their guns, just mowed them down. And we work with China. It's amazing. This is totalitarian government. We're in a quandary right now. I know the reason they want to get lithium out of King Mountain is because they want to be less dependent on China, which is a good idea, and bring the battery making into America. Well, so they think we're just going to have to wipe out this area because people don't want mining in their area like that. It would destroy their whole community. And so they just destroy the community, and now people have no control. But the point of being is, do we really need to have this advanced battery building? Do we have to go electric? I have an electric car. I'm into it. I think that it's cool. It doesn't do much pollution. But right now, our government has spent $5 trillion already, $5 trillion on the conversion to electricity so far. And all we have is 2% less, 2% less dependence on coal and oil, just 2% less. It will be hundreds of years before we can be completely green energy. And already, this is the joke. I mean, from one point of view, it's the tragedy. There's other 50 different patents of people who figured out ways to produce free energy. I just saw another one on YouTube demonstrating right there a free energy device. And somehow it got on YouTube, and India is now starting to use it. And it's not a perfect free energy, but it's a good one. You take actually a regular engine and you combine it with this other device, and that engine that's running on gasoline, same old gasoline engine. See, there's more advanced ones. You don't use gasoline at all, but it's a gasoline engine, and it runs like, I think 3 times more efficiently. So if you could go 500 miles, you can go 1,500 miles on it. And what it puts out is pure oxygen. Okay, it just puts out it's actually purifying the air as it goes through, putting out pure oxygen, like an oxygen machine in every car, just cleaning the air, cleaning the air, cleaning the air. Because one of the problems as well is, it should be, air has nitrogen in it and other things in it, but it should be at least around 20% oxygen. And this machine puts out air that's 20% oxygen. In Tokyo, sometimes it goes all the way down to 8% oxygen. And then they have warnings where you have to stay indoors because if it goes down to 7, everybody dies. Same thing with carbon dioxide, everybody. Carbon dioxide creates, the plants love it. CO2, the plants love it. They're great. They think it's fantastic. So, and during, people say, but it's getting hotter. Yes, it's getting hotter. Guess what? There was something called the ice age, and all this time it's been warming up. It's melting. It's natural, the cycles of nature. This is such a huge force. But what we want to do is not pollute our environment. There's no clarity about that. But the forces that be, it would destroy our economy from the point of view of the people who make the most in the economy, to have free energy. Governments would have absolutely no power if you have free energy. You just live in your house out in the woods, wherever you want to be. All this land is everywhere. You just start your own homestead. You have your own gardens. You have your own water source, because you have electricity to do everything. You can actually, just with free energy, you can pull water out of the air and have plenty of water. You don't have to dig wells. They cannot have people be free and independent. This is all about trying to control us. Right now, water, we pay huge water bills in California, and all this shortage and this water wars. But in Northern California, they put out millions of gallons every day. They run it into the ocean to create this scarcity to raise the value of water. Same thing with gas and oil. My family was gas and oil. My dad was Gray Wolf Oil, and we had oil wells and everything. And he would be so mad all the time because they kept saying, "Oh yeah, there's a shortage of oil. There's so much oil in Texas. There's so much oil in Canada. There's so much oil in different parts of the world." And what they do is governments suppress that. And he would say, "Oh yeah, they're saying that OPEC was controlling the oil supply on the planet." America controls OPEC. There's just no question about it. They have their whole military. Saudi Arabian military is completely all American. They can't even repair it. They can't. We own the parts. They can't repair any of the equipment. I know the people that own the 50 different companies in America own all the parts for Saudi Arabia. I tried to bring about one company that would do it all. Then we'd have somebody just brought in poison water. And they saw Nieper's work. Hans Nieper was doing free energy. This was somebody else who figured it out. I mean, in another way, Nieper does it right from the atmosphere. When you start seeing, the poison water, they put it in the water. And by the way, I just want to emphasize that thing about the patches. Two things you want for your ultimate health. The things the government tells you can't have are usually the things you want. One is the tobacco. The tobacco is non-addictive. It's a healing thing. You can't even buy tobacco seeds because it's against the law to buy. They don't want people growing their own tobacco. One. Two is nicotine patches. Nicotine is really, really healthy. Lots of research showing that it protects against dementia and Alzheimer's. It also protects from the spike protein. It's in competition with it for the receptor sites. And then there's also lithium. Lithium's the other big one. Lithium has no side effects at all. The psychiatrists give you toxic doses of it because they give an inferior form of lithium that doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So you need really just 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams of lithium every day. It helps your brain regenerate itself. It's proven, helps keep you calm, helps you manage stress. Lithium orotate is the form that you can do microdosing, and it crosses the blood-brain barrier. That's all you need. And it's not against the law. It's not against the law anywhere to use because it's not a drug, but you can't sell it anywhere. Whole Foods won't even take it. And I was at the conference in Cairo last weekend, and I'm sitting in a medical guy, big shot, really famous, and he handles people's addictions. And I said to him, "Have you tried lithium?" He says, "Oh, I take lithium as well." He said, "Microdosing lithium." And it's not a drug, it's just a mineral like magnesium that our government has outlawed and scared everybody with, because what they do with psychiatrists is they give you 500 times a dose because it's an inferior form. It doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. And then you have to test your blood to make sure you don't have too much, because if you have too much in your blood, you have side effects. If you have too much of anything in your blood, you have side effects. But if you even took the whole bottle of lithium, you couldn't even register it in your blood. It's such a small amount that it's therapeutic, the therapeutic dose. So I said to him, why don't you use it? And someone distills their tap water to take out the rat poison. Good idea. Our reverse osmosis. And here's another person talking about snorting sacred tobacco along with ozone. Ozone's great too. A lot of different techniques that used to even be illegal, and they're trying to make tobacco illegal. And during the lockdown or during the COVID time, all the research showed that if you were smokers, they didn't go to the hospital. Extremely small level of people who smoke went to the hospital because they had the benefit of tobacco. Now, tobacco cigarettes are addictive because they put 200 other ingredients in it to make it addictive, but pure tobacco is not. And it turns out that tobacco is the highest source of lithium on the planet. You get 10 times more lithium than any other food with tobacco. So these are two magic things, is nicotine and tobacco, things that they want to abolish. So this doctor next to me, what he said was, he says, "Oh, I can't give it to people." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because it works so well, people will take too much." they'll think that because it can't do everything, but if it helps a lot, then they think I'll just take more. More is better. Well, that's true of anything you can take. It's just that with lithium, they have to use that stupid reason. You just tell people take 4 capsules a day or 2 capsules a day. That's it. You're microdosing. There's no possibility of side effect, never reported side effect from lithium orotate. And so if you go to marsvenus.com, I have from my opinion, the best form of lithium orotate, along bonded with a lot of other magnesium orotate, zinc orotate, and a bunch of adaptogens, which are things like ashwagandha and bacopa and saffron and fulvic acid, which are these super minerals that are great for your body, and several other good things for you that I put in that capsule. So that you can get at marsvenus.com. If you're in America, you can order it. And it's right at the top of the page. You click it, goes to Amazon. And then at the Amazon page, we describe the benefits of it, as opposed to at marsvenus.com. We used to have our website there. We don't sell supplements anymore. The whole story with that. But I am recommending people now. I'm about to make a video on how to use the Isagenix Isoline Pro. It's their only product that I use for this purpose, which is for optimal brain function. Now, when I had Parkinson's 25 years ago, I healed it with this $10,000 treatment of putting pre-digested amino acids in my bloodstream. It lasted 3 months, did it again for $10,000, and Parkinson's went away, came back. And I thought, why do I have to get these injections when I figure out how to get it? What I found is if you get high quality protein, dairy and whey protein that's unheated. Oh, good. Bella, glad it helps a lot. I started taking it after watching a TikTok of you talking about it. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Now use some nicotine patches, to 7 milligrams of nicotine patches. It will also help tremendously. And the thing I'm talking about now is one of the most, I love psilocybin as an experience. I did it a few times. That's all I needed to do it. But I think everybody should have a guided trip with psilocybin, so they're not alone with it, because it's a little scary for some people because you experience other dimensions of consciousness. My fun, see, there's different layers of consciousness, but this is mushrooms. So I remember one time, I only did it a few times. Don't need to do it more. It was great. But the experience, thank you. Somebody has all the old videos I did on health. Yeah, they're great. They're great. They're very practical. But here's the new one. Okay, so this is, I used to have my own shakes. Now I don't. I just use I can only do so much in my life. And so I use the Isagenix Isoline Pro. That's the only product they have that has these 5 enzymes in it, that along with the high quality grass-fed whey and casein proteins, and they're not high heat processed. So that makes it already a good product. But then you put that powder in warm water at 100 degrees. At 100 degrees, you put the powder in, let it sit for 45 minutes or longer. What it will do, it will bubble up, and then it turns to foam. What you're getting is pre-digested amino acids. What I was taking in my arm for $10,000 for, $100 a week, you can get, these pre-digested proteins right to your brain, which is pretty cool. See, if you want to lose weight, you can go online. You can see all their program for losing weight, which is really great. You do some other things, some cleanses along with it. So someone else's other research, GLP agonists and so forth, without a doubt, there's so many things to help us. I'm always for as natural as can be. And so when you talk about cow milk protein and you put enzymes in it, it digests itself, all those problems of people not being able to digest milk go away, because you're not getting proteins. What happens, protein turns into amino acids. And most people, when they digest their proteins, if they can digest them, they're only going to get like 20% to 30% of amino acids. And for vegans, they only get 10% of the amino acids. But, for vegan, I talked to a vegan the other day, and she's, young and still, she loves her diet because she feels so good. And what I explained to her is every diet that you follow will feel good for a while because any good diet kicks out sugar and carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates. As soon as you do that, you're in good shape. Or kicking out seed oils as well. Everything in moderation from my point of view, but people can experiment. I grew up, my dad was following all these different diets, and then I follow all these different diets. Now my diet is pretty much, general, but I do in the first thing in the morning, most mornings, I'll make my 45-minute shake, the pre-digested protein shake, and an hour before bed, I take another one, and it's amazing. Now, you can do raw milk, of course. I'd be promoting raw milk all the time, except not everybody can get raw milk. It's fantastic. Here we can get raw milk. That's the very best. But at least if you can get grass-fed milk, that's what's called undenatured, and that's milk powder or whey protein powder. These are with warm water, 100 degrees, a little bit more, for 45 minutes. You'll get a magic, and you give this to your kids in the morning. You can make it the night before, and then you can have it in the refrigerator. Take it out, give it to your kids. Just give them a cup of it. 4 ounces, 6 ounces. It's gonna taste like a glass of milk, just a little thicker, but it's pre-digested. It goes right to the brain. In India, the cows were worshipped because they were vegetarian, but they would get the milk from cows. And of course, it was raw milk, and their cows were treated with great respect. And it was all grass fed. And they made butter and ghee from grass fed butter and ghee, which is also really, really super. And then you have a fermented drink, which is people are talking about, which is fantastic. You get amino acids there. You're going to get, but you won't get as many as if this pre-digested one. Just to let you know. I mean, this is what the research shows, but I know it's to ferment is really good to have fermented milk. But if you're fermenting it yourself, that's really good. If you're buying it in the stores, it doesn't have all those. It's been processed. It's not going to have the purity of having made the yogurt at home. I used to make my own yogurt. And buffalo milk, sure, buffalo milk, camel milk's the best if people want to do that. But if you can, anyway, we're not going to spend too much time on this because I have my day. I know other people have their day. And thanks for hanging in here with me, guys. Thanks for hearing all this stuff about the evil in the world. I have to tell somebody. I just it's important that it gets out there. Another voice speaking it. I just think we have the courage now to start talking about these things, even though they've labeled us conspiracy theorists, and yet every conspiracy theorist practically during the whole shutdown was right. It was government made, and even there's more to it. It's not just government made; it's the military made it, and the military delivered it. It's the military operation. There are forces of darkness in our government that want to create division, and they want to take over. See, if you can create a lot of chaos, then people will say, we need more control. The evil force, like in the vampire movies, they can't come into your home unless you invite them. You have to invite them. You have to comply. Say, okay, I have to say, oh, we want it. We want it. Just like, people are so conditioned now that if I said, hey, here's an airport you can go to where there's no security. You don't have to go through security lines. So many people would say, oh, I don't want to go do that. I'm so afraid. I need these security lines. We did it for the longest time. We don't need those security lines. That's just all nonsense. Going through all those long lines at the airport. There's one other company called JSX that does a lot of flights in the United States. And it's like a private airport. It used to be that the flights were pretty much economy. Now they upgraded the price of them a bit. But the convenience of just being able to walk in, give them your license to check in, and then get on the plane. That's amazing. That's how it used to be. That's how we used to travel. You didn't have to have an ID. I remember I would travel and I'd have an ID, and I would just say, this is my ticket. And that was enough. Oh, they did. the whole 9/11 thing, Patriot Act, it was already been written. It was all ready to go. Let's bring in more controls that control people, put people in jail without even having uh, any kind of judiciary process. This is a slow takeover, just like happened in Mao, just like happened in Russia. They took over Russia. 70 million people died over there too. Just destroyed people, all the elites, the higher class. And now what they're doing is painting the picture of the elites here. They're going with the white people as the privileged, and we need to push the white people down. And then it would just be the white women as well. It will be the elites. It will be anybody has money, they want to get rid of them. That's what happened in China. They just killed so many people. Always a pleasure to talk to everybody here too. And I'm going to get going. And thank you all for joining me. Tangela, she had to go somewhere else. So what she would do is remind people that, Soul Search has these wonderful expos all around the country. You can go to Soul Search, get the schedule. And it's fun. It's like there's all these people who do different new age type things and meditation things and equipment things, machines that do stuff, old fashioned things, traditional things that all for personal growth, personal development, exploration. So it's a fun thing to go to. And many of them, I give my talks as well, but they're always online if you can find them at the Soul Search website. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 7:00. Have a great day.
Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. for the Radiant Mind Meditation with Dr. John Gray, the #1 trusted relationship expert, the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. What many people don't know is that John Gray spent 9 years as a celibate monk and the personal assistant to the founder of Transcendental Meditation. During this time, he learned powerful meditation practices and techniques, which he has developed and refined for the last 50 years. He now brings us his resonance, wisdom, and energy every week on Wednesdays at 7 a.m. on the Soul Search Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Join us every Wednesday.